Greetings, I'm Professor Hobo, and welcome to another HOBOTECH Knows product review. Today is another double-fisted dual product review. We got two products from the same company. First one is the BESTEK 8-outlet surge protector with USB ports, and the other is a BESTEK 3-outlet power strip. Let's check them out. So let's start with the 8-outlet surge protector from BESTEK first. Now this has 8 outlets total, 8 AC outlets, 2 on each side on all 4 sides, which is pretty cool. It comes in this really basic box. There's nothing else in it. Now these outlets have what are called safety doors. You might be able to see that. It actually has light blue plastic things in there that block sticking your fingers or a fork or whatever in there. It only works if you stick a plug in there. I guess that's for safety reasons, prevent children from electrocuting themselves, which is always a good thing. This thing does have 6 USB ports, 3 on one side, 3 on the other. These are all standard USB 2.4 amp 5 volt ports. Nothing really special about them. They do call these smart charging ports, and I don't understand why. They don't support Qualcomm Quick Charge 2 or 3. They don't support the power delivery standard. They're just basic 2.4 amp 5 volt USB ports. But nonetheless, you get 6 of them, which is a lot. So one of the main features of this surge protector is that it has 1500 joule surge protection built in. Now 1500 joules, for those of you who don't understand joules, 1500 is quite a lot. It means it can protect your TV, your computer, refrigerator, pretty much any major appliance you plug into this would be protected from major things like lightning strikes or big surges coming in through the AC. One of the other features is that this sports a 6-foot 14 gauge cable. Typically you would get a 16 or 18 gauge cable in something like this, but it's a little heavier duty because this is a 15 amp device. This will actually allow you to put 15 straight amps through, which is 1875 watts. That's a lot for most power strips. Now all 6 USB ports combined will charge your devices up to 8 amps. That means if you have 2 of these plugged in, it will max out at 4.8 amps. If you have all 6 plugged in, you're only going to get 8 amps total from all 6 USB ports. Now that's probably not going to be an issue for most people. Besides surge protection, this also offers short circuit, overload, and overcurrent protection built in. Now this does sport 2 switches on it, which control the top and bottom banks separately of the AC outlets. So this top switch, when you toggle it, it'll turn all 4 of the outlets on the top row on or off, and the bottom switch will turn off the 4 outlets on the bottom row. Note that neither one of these switches or no switches on this device actually shut off the USB ports. Now one of the features of these USB ports is that each one of them have a separate USB light. So when you plug in your USB device, the LED will come on and light up. Now what's different about this is that these lights are actually ambient light sensitive. So if it's dark in the room, they'll dim automatically so you're not getting blasted in the face with light at night. On this side, you have LED indicators which show you that you're being protected by the surge protection, and if your device is grounded, the grounded light will show up. There's also a red reset switch here in case you do overload the device. You can reset the circuit breaker inside. And as for the dimensions, it's a square 4.8 by 4.8 by 5.7 inches tall at just over 2 pounds. Okay, now let's go over the quirks and features of the BESTEK 3-outlet power strip. Now this sports 3 standard AC outlets, 1 on each side. It also has 3 standard USB ports and 1 USB-C port, which supports charging up to 15 watts or 3 amps. This is not a quick charge or power delivery port. This does have a backlit on and off switch for the USB ports. The switch does not turn on or off the outlets, just the USB ports. So the unique feature about the 3-outlet power strip is that it can be mounted in any direction. The base comes off, and it comes with screws and VHB tape, so you can mount it upside down or along a wall or under a table or any way you want, and it quickly attaches and detaches. The nice solid click, so it's not going to come off the wall. And that's a pretty cool feature because it allowed me to mount it underneath one of my cabinets in the RV, plug stuff into it, and then run this up to one of my main AC outlets in the van. Now just like its big brother, this does offer over voltage, short circuit, overload, and overcurrent protection. Now this has 4 USB ports total on it. Between all 4 ports, you can charge a total of 5 amps combined. So don't expect that you can plug 2.4 amp and 3 amp items into all 4 and get 12 amps. It's limited to 5 amp charging, which is usually fine because a lot of the things you're going to plug into USB-A is only going to charge at 1 amp or 1.5 or 2 amps anyway. But just be aware of that limitation. Now, unlike its bigger brother, this only supports 13 amps from the AC outlets. That's a total of 1,625 watts. Now, that's probably not an issue. If you're using something this small, you're probably not plugging a hair dryer into it anyway. And this thing is tiny and lightweight. It's 3.4 by 3.4 by 3.1 inches at just over a pound. And BESTEK offers an 18-month warranty on all their products, so both of these are covered with their standard 18-month warranty. Now, I had this for about a month and I tested it thoroughly. I'll show you a little clip here where I charged my electric bike battery. I was cooking a pizza at 1,500 watts, and I had every single USB port used. And I was using it outdoors where you're really not supposed to, but you know, it's Tucson, it's dry out, really not an issue. So here's an example of using the BESTEK 8 outlet. I'm using all the USB ports to charge my bicycle lights, and I'm using it also to charge this solar powered camera before I test it, because you're supposed to charge it up USB for the first time. I am actually charging my electric bike battery and making a pizza. See, making a pizza. And running all this off this BESTEK 8 outlet power distribution power strip thingy. It certainly comes in handy. I like its vertical, the vertical outlets. Everything is in one nice compact package. So this thing really held up to a month's worth of torture as I was plugging everything, literally everything, all the power station testing and stuff I've done has actually used this. Whenever you guys see the time lapses, they're all being powered by the USB ports. I'm charging up power stations with these all the time. It never failed once. I never had any issues with it. Now, the 3 outlet power strip, I didn't run nearly as many things into it, but I did use all the ports at the same time for USB, and I didn't have any issues with it either. So what do I like about this 8 outlet surge protector? Well, it's lots of outlets in a small package. It is so much better than those longer power strips that are so awkward when you plug things in, they like fall over. This, you set it on a table, you plug stuff in, all the outlets are at 90 degrees, so you can actually plug in wall warts that are pretty thick and not have any issues. Very well designed. And there's actually another model of this, an upgrade in this, that has wireless charging built into the top. Now, they wouldn't send me that one, but if you really need wireless charging, you could spend the 10 bucks more and get the one that has the wireless charging built into the top. What else do I like? Lots and lots of standard USB ports. Now, yeah, they're not quick charge ports, but almost everything nowadays is still 2.4 amp plain USB-A. There are some modern devices like brand new, modern, high-end smartphones, laptops, tablets that would require quick charge ports. This doesn't have that, so if you have like some modern device that requires some high amp draw, these USB ports really probably aren't going to help you in that situation, but it's fine for almost everything else that you can think of that would run off of USB. Now, I did use all 6 ports at the same time to charge my electric bike accessories after each ride, and let me tell you, it's nice being able to plug 6 things at once into this and just have them all charge at once. I also like the fact that this is heavy duty, it comes with a nice thick 14 gauge cord, and it supports 15 amps. You know, I have no worries that my pizza maker or any other high amp device won't work with it or will trip it. One other really cool use for this would be to plug this into your gasoline generator or even a solar generator like this Jackery, and allows you to expand the ports and charge tons of stuff all at the same time. Now, be aware that this is rated for indoor use only, but of course you can use it outside as long as you keep it dry. I've used it outside for the past month. I haven't had any problems with it. I do like the on-off toggle switches for the separate banks. That allows me to power things like lights that I would only use at night on the top row, and then everything else I can power on the bottom row. Now, although I couldn't really test its surge protection, 1,500 joules of protection is quite a lot. It should protect just about anything in your rig or your home from lightning strikes or other major power surges. Now, what do I like about the BESTEK 3 outlet? Very cool mountable design. Allows you to put it anywhere in your RV or your home, underneath your desk. You could take it on and off real quick, as you see. It's perfect for RV and van lifers. Being able to switch on and off the USB is great to save power when not in use, unlike its bigger brother, which can't be switched off. And I do like that the outlets are mounted at 90 degrees, just like its bigger brother. And the addition of the USB-C charge port is nice. It does pack a lot of power into a small package. So what don't I like about the BESTEK 8-outlet surge protector? Well, the lack of a switch to turn off the USB ports is an oversight. Because they're always on, they will waste a little bit of power, even when not in use. However, I tried to test how much power they use when they're not in use, and I couldn't get it to show up on my meter, but that doesn't mean there's absolutely nothing there. It might be a fraction of a watt, but you have to be aware of that. As long as it's plugged in, it's doing a conversion process from 110 volts to 5 volts, which does use a little bit of power. Okay, so I'm going to test and see what the USB power draw is when this device is plugged in. So I have the Jackery Explorer 240 plugged into my kilowatt meter to give me an accurate representation as to how many watts are coming out. Now, why am I not using the scale on the Jackery? Well, because the inverter itself uses a few watts, so it's going to show a few watts on the meter no matter what. But if I use my kilowatt, that's separate, so it's going to show me accurately how many watts are coming into this thing. I got my smartphone here. It's an old one, but it still does the job. Plug it into one of the standard USB ports, and you can see right away it's showing 5-6 watts of charging. So when I unplug it, it drops back down to 0. But these kilowatt meters aren't very accurate when it comes to that first 1 or 2 watts. Let me show you. It is showing 0.1 on the VA meter, and you see it flickers back and forth sometimes to 0.3. That does mean there is some small power draw from this device that's not showing up on the watt meter. So just be aware, if you have this plugged in, it's going to draw a very, very small, probably less than 1 watt of power, no matter if you have anything plugged in or not. I also found the safety doors, as they call them, annoying, because if I'm plugging something in that has a little bit of a wider prong than normal, you kind of have to really wrestle it to get it in. And the lack of any quick charge ports or USB-C ports at all, that's kind of an archaic design. I mean, while the 2.4 amp USB-A is standard for most of the world right now, it's not very future-proof. That means if you have a newer device that requires a higher power USB to charge or run, you can't really use this unless you plug some kind of adapter into the AC outlet, and that kind of defeats the purpose of all these USB outlets. I just think that's a little bit of an oversight. They could have at least included a couple of those ports on here to make it a little more future-proof. So what don't I like about the BESTEK 3-outlet power strip? Well, the lack of switch to turn off the outlets is my biggest pet peeve. It means you either have to unplug this thing if you don't want power going to these AC outlets, or you have to plug it into this and then use the switch here to turn things on and off. Sure, you can do that, but why didn't they include a power switch to turn this thing on and off? I don't know. So what's the other thing I don't like about this? Its lack of quick charge or power delivery ports. Yes, they include a USB-C port on here, but it's only the standard 5 volt 3 amp, 15 watts. It's not going to work if you have a $1,000 smartphone or one of those newfangled Mac tablets or anything else that actually requires a high amp or high wattage charge from USB to charge or run. This will be useless for you. You'll have to plug in one of those adapters, which will take AC power and convert it to DC power for your device. I don't understand why they didn't just put a quick charge port in this thing, and at least they'd have their bases covered. So I know the most important question now is, how much are these things? Well, they're standard priced, about what you'd expect to pay for a surge protector. There's tons of competition in this field, a lot of power strip and surge protectors on the market, a lot of competition. But let me tell you, I've been using these for the past month outdoors. You're really not supposed to use them outdoors. I haven't had any issues with them. I've owned BESTEK products in the past. I haven't had any issues with them either. It's a company that's been around for a long time, at least a decade or two. And I don't really expect you're going to have any problems with them. At least I haven't had any problems with them. I'm also testing a BESTEK 300 watt pure sine inverter. That's something I'm going to do a review on in another video shortly. Now, if you go below in the description, you're going to see 2 links and 2 promo codes. One of the links and one of the promo codes is for this, and the other link and other promo code is for this. Now, you can't mix them up because the one promo code for this doesn't work with this and vice versa. So be sure to check out the links below and use the appropriate promo code to get your discount on either one of these, respectively. So thanks for watching. If you learned something today, don't forget to give me a thumbs up below. If you're not a subscriber already, you know what to do. We've had a large influx of people coming over to our Facebook group called the HOBOTECH Crew. So if you're a Facebooker and you want to chat about power stations and solar panels and post pictures of your rig, come on over to the HOBOTECH Crew, join the group, hang out with us. That's it for now. Till next time.
Odin commands you to like and subscribe, and clean my litter box.
Okay, the most important feature you guys are waiting for. I gotta wait for this fucking diesel to go by. Okay, here we go, finally. Now, in other news, Max Oak just told me they brought back the $150 off coupon on the Max Oak Bluetti for a limited time. I don't know how limited that is, but I know a lot of you are waiting for that coupon to come back. So with that coupon, $150 off, plus the Bluetti 2019 Amazon code, which gives you another $140 off, you can get the Max Oak Bluetti 1500 watt power station for $290 off for a limited time. The link for that is also below in the description. Hey, thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe, share, and like. And we'll see you guys next time. Say hi, Odin.
RV Golf Guy.